Yo, check it out, check it out, check it out. You're in tune to the Hip Hop Chronicles. Your host, Ravilla, representing Signature Styles. But tonight we got our man. He's not new to the game. Down in the underground scene, a veteran. His name goes by the name of the infamous Kash-flo. How you doing, brother? Yeah. First of all, I want to know how you doing tonight. You good?
Yeah, everything is going really swell tonight.
Okay, I just want to now this this interview we're conducting for him is let him reintroduce himself to the world. You know what I'm saying? He been chilling, laying low, formulating in the lab and whatnot, like the mad scientist that he is. So basically, you let the world know, like, how long you've been doing your thing or whatnot, as far as in the music industry, as far as we just rhyming, producing, or whatnot.
You know what I'm saying? First of all, I go by the infamous Kash-flo. For those that don't know, now you do know. You know what I mean? I'm an MC, producer, so I'm making tracks. All the tracks you hear me rapping on, damn near, I made that joint. You know what I mean? And then I'm rapping over top of it too, so it's like, you get the whole perspective, you know what I'm saying, for artists, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? I got my niggas riding on me, you know what I'm saying, with me on these tracks, you know what I mean? So,
okay. That's what's up. Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, appreciate the love on that feature, Yeah. So that's so I'm assuming this one, like you said, you're talking about styling on them, so I'm assuming this one of the new joints that you're working on. So is this going to be an upcoming album? Is this it? Okay. Okay. Okay.
Then we got the NXS, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Styling on, you know what I'm saying, featuring Ravilla, you know what I'm saying? Definitely, you know what I'm saying? Holding down for Signature Styles on this track, you know what I'm saying? Shouts out to General Mills.
Okay. Yeah, because I see you got the album right up here. How many joints on the album?
There was 14 cuts on the album, you know what I'm saying?
14 bangers.
All that real hip hop, that stuff you've been missing, you know what I'm saying? You've been waiting for it. Well, here it is, you know what I'm saying? The infamous Kash-flo, you know what I'm saying? Welcome to my life.
Okay, and what's the name of the album?
So it's called The Rebirth.
Okay,
The Rebirth. It's the rebirth for the real, you know what I'm saying? That real hip hop, that real music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because I guess
you're thinking about what you want to listen to, right now you're limited, you're limited to what you listen to. Everybody talking about the same damn thing at the same damn time, So we come complaining for artists.
That's what I'm saying. So you need a rebirth. I guess Nas said a couple years ago hip hop was dead, so you can't rebirth and bring it back to life.
Yeah, we brought it back. We resurrected that.
Okay, that's what's up.
And she is officially back in effect.
Yeah, that's what's up. Got that second life. I feel you. So I'm saying you said Styling On is one of the singles, and you talking about NXS is one of the singles. Now, what we're gonna I hear Styling On play in the background. So what is Styling On? Like what?
Basically, Styling On is about just styling on, some fly, signature type of music, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Because this, you know what I'm saying, is from back in the days, you know what I mean? With the crew, Signature Styles.
Okay.
And Ravilla, you know what I'm saying? Me and him hopped on this joint, you know what I mean? And, we made it a rap, you know what I'm saying? It was a record.
Okay.
That's how I went there. We just styling on them, you know what I mean?
Now I know you got the other single NXS. Now when I think about NXS, I think about the rock group back in the '80s and the early '90s. They had some joints.
Yeah.
You talking is that's where you got some of your inspiration from, for us with that song or whatnot?
Obviously, you know what I'm saying? Like it's named, the title, you know what I mean? It's NXS, it's the actual letters instead of spelled out NXS.
Okay.
It was about, how we do it, we get money, we do it big, we do it in excess, you feel me?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All the time. You can't just get a car, It's tight. Nah, now you gotta get tight rims.
Yeah.
If the rims ain't tight enough, man, now you need a system. You feel me?
Exactly. Okay.
You know,
Okay.
that's what it is. In excess, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Now, speaking of like, you know, I'm not gonna say you're a rapper, you're an MC and a producer. Now, being that you know you got a lot of producers now in the game that are in some people's top 5 as rappers and production wise, like you know you got your Kanye's, you got your Pharrell's, and then you got you know other up and comers too. You got you know other up and comers that you know I'm not trying to not Big Crit, yeah, you know we got Havoc and whatnot. Now the RZA most definitely, yeah, Dre.
Goes on and on.
Now so I'm like you know given that you know as far as with how they you know in the game and whatnot. Who do you say? Not saying you want to be like someone, because I know you're your own person, your own man. But like, who do you like? You know, get that influence? Because you know, you in the basketball player coming up, they're like, yo, I want to be like Mike or Kobe or whatnot. Who like you try to like? You know what? I'm gonna top them. Like, just like somebody come out with a new joint, like oh, he's like, I gotta top that. So who was that?
You know what I'm saying? I felt like you know, I always like Kanye's music. You know, so I respect that in his craft. You know what I'm saying? What he do. So, you know. Because we always started off with the sample, and I started off with the sample. And eventually started making our own music, you know, composing, you know,
yeah. I face.
You know, it's always really good because,
okay, so so I can assume it's safe to say that like when you first got in the game, the RZA was the one that kind of like hold up, like, and then Kanye, when you still in the game, you saw, we're not saying RZA retired and things slacked up, but like when Kanye came in, he said, oh, hold up. He took it to the next level where RZA take it up, so he's like, yeah, you feel like, you know, okay. He's like, I guess, RZA could be Jordan and Kanye could be Kobe. And like, so you like, you know what, I'm gonna get in and do my thing and let them know that quote unquote, the infamous Kash-flo is in the building. Now, speaking of infamous Kash-flo, now, before do you have any other aliases that you used to go by that you go by from now or whatnot? Because you know, being that you're in the game, because everybody like Kanye, he sometimes Louis Vuitton Don, RZA, the Abbott, yada yada yada. So, you know what aliases or whatever do you have besides the infamous Kash-flo?
You know, said infamous Kash-flo. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We don't keep other aliases other than raps, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? People that know me, you know what I'm saying, they know what it was, that, you know what I mean? But straight up, and as far as other aliases, infamous Kash-flo.
That's it. So it's it. People that know you know your aliases, so you keep that on the rap. So if you really know the infamous Kash-flo, if you call him by another alias, then you basically down with the team, basically.
Yeah,
you know what it is. Okay, I feel you. I feel you.
You know, so they can't get that for free, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you may hear infamous, ladies and gentlemen, you may hear infamous Kash-flo track, or you know what I'm saying, a rhyme, and you may think it's someone else, but it could be yours too. Like, you know, he like the ghost writer, ghost producer.
We got Mars Production Music, and we've been doing this for about 2002. Then, you know, we got together, and now, you know, it is what it is, man. We're making moves. This right here is the album. This is the Rebirth.
Yes.
You know,
get a shot of that close up, yeah. I see you as a youngster. Over there, I see you ain't got the goatee or whatnot.
Straight up.
And now, you know.
In the hoodie, you know what I'm saying? For that Trayvon Martin.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Speaking
on the album.
You feel me? Respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you know. Cause you know things.
I was him when I was his age. You feel me? I walk around with hoodie on.
And it's sad to say, like, he could be like, he's kind of like the new Emmett Till. You know what I'm saying? No one should be like the new Emmett Till or anything like that. It should have been, you know, which both of them cats are still here, but you know, that's good, you know, respect. So you got like on the Rebirth album, like, do you have like what topics you cover on that? Since we talking about Trayvon Martin being that,
you know, so Rebirth, let's see, start off, you know, with the concept of the album. It's like a tape, you feel me? So we got an A and we got the B side.
Okay.
So it's not like a regular CD was just going straight through it. So the first A side is a little bit more up-tempo music. You know, we're talking about like
So you say like the first 7 or 8 songs is on somewhere where you can get down to far in life.
Yeah. After that,
Okay. Yeah, talk about your show. When where they can catch you at.
July 29th, we're going to be at the Red Light. We're performing five, 6 songs off of the Rebirth album.
And that's in the ATL, for those who don't know. If you're in the ATL Atlanta area.
And the first 20 bucks will come one of my tickets.
Oh, so you're definitely cop that Rebirth right there. There it is.
The tickets are $10 a piece, so you can check me out at Django.com. You can go to the infamous Kash-flo, and Django.com. My information will come up. You know what I mean? Or you can Twitter me at infamous Kash-flo.
And that's with a K, right?
Yeah, infamous Kash-flo with a K. You know what I mean? F-L-O.
Okay.
Yeah, straight up.
So definitely, you want to, before we wrap this up for the people in the, around the world, across the globe, that's going to be seeing this worldwide real soon. You want to give any shout outs or whatnot?
Yeah, man. I'm gonna shout out, God first. You know what I'm saying? My fans, you know what I mean? Family, you know what I mean? Everybody, you feel me? You know what I mean? The king, you know what I'm saying? Motherfucking my brother, Jay Sinister, you know what I'm saying? WJ Boogie, you know what I mean? My life fam, you know what I'm saying? Sinister Styles, Sue, General Mills, Ravilla, you know what I'm saying? Ryan Beach, Scrap Matic, you know what I mean? Bernhard, 350, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? We in the house, y'all.
Yeah, that's what's up. So, before, besides,
you know what I'm saying?
anything else, what the features?
Definitely, you know what I'm saying? My wife, my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I say my family, but you need to mention them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, got to show love to the household. You know what I'm saying? So, before we wrap this up, like any other features besides, Ravilla that's on the album, on the styling on them, that you got on there, as far as even production-wise, or even or other rhymes.
Another single, The Venus, another joint for the women, building our women up. Hard 350, we came in, you know what I'm saying, helped out with the production on there, styling on it, got Ravilla on it. She said she loved me, got Ravilla on it. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you basically kept it old school, like with the limited features.
Yeah, man.
Keep it on,
Definitely, I want people to know, you know what I'm saying? There's no collaboration,
Yeah, it's you, because because nowadays you got a lot of people trying, as far as when the album come out, they have to have a lot of co-signers to say, okay, they on, they good. But you coming out with it raw, like this is all me.
In the lab, constantly creating, motivating, moving, different, angle, keeping this shit, percolating.
Okay, so.
Definitely stay tuned, this way. I put this out here to keep people, interested until, I hit them with the boom, and it's coming.
Okay, so you already in the lab getting formulating on something else then?
Oh man, it's lovely. It's lovely. It's coming on hard and it's coming strong. You know what I mean?
Alright.
This right here, I'll hold you down until, I drop that mega shit. You lucky enough to get one of these joints, you know what I'm saying? That's what's up.
Okay, that's what.
Appreciate the love. Hit me up on Twitter, so I can keep up.
Yeah, that's what's so. Y'all check this out. Y'all follow my man, Infamous Kash-flo, on Twitter at the Infamous Kash-flo. That's with a K and Flow, F-L-O, at Twitter. So y'all cop that album, Rebirth. I'm quite sure he's a good dude. You follow him, he'll follow you. Direct message, you get his number. As far as with the shows, the album, even production. I'm quite sure trust me, his beats is making. Once you hear that, if you're aspiring rapper, singer, poet, whatever, I'm quite sure he's willing to do work with you because he's that type of dude. He's a good dude. My man, it's a good, it's a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Working with you in the lab as we're just chilling with you at that, so we signing off with the Hip Hop Chronicles of the infamous Kash-flo. It's not the last we'll be hearing from him. You're going to hear more to come from him. Signing off is your host. Be sure to check the show out. He's performing July 29th at the Red Light District Cafe, July 29th. And the ATL, Atlanta, Georgia, for those that don't know. It's off of Ponce on Amsterdam Avenue. So get at him. Follow him on Twitter. It's like, yo, when's the show? First 20 people get the CD. Remember that. So we should see 20 people in line. Matter of fact, we should see 40 people. He's going to say, I don't have any more CDs to give out. So it's a live show. He's going to be doing all the hits off of that Venus, styling on them, in excess. So I'm pretty sure to give a good show. You can bring your family out. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those type of dudes. Signing off, yours truly, Ravilla, infamous Kash-flo. I want to thank you, my brother. Hold it down. One.